Yo, welcome to this Arte podcast number 38. My name is Omar, and I don't dislike my name. If I would change my name, I wouldn't change it. Just call me Adrian, that's my middle name, or Adrian. Pero either way, if you know me for another name, cool. Everybody has all kinds of nicknames out there. And that's pretty funny, right? The nicknames people come up with. Welcome to this Miarte podcast number 38. My name is Omar. Like I said, I don't bring much topics to this Miarte or podcast recording. I like to call it recordings because like they get stuck in the past, and I don't really go back there and listen to what I said, sort of. So it's like if eventually you I don't know, perhaps bring up something from my recordings, or like for example, Homer, you said this, and I'm like, I probably forgot, because I'm always focused on a project, or I'm focused on something. I'm trying to do as much things possible to keep my mind focused. Yeah, if you refresh my brain on certain things, perhaps I could bring up the topic or something, but who knows. But for now, I just finished Los Angeles Dodgers type of flag and I wanted to talk about this project that I did, this LA Dodger flag for sure, banner for someone's room or garage, and I started to like imagining too much into it. Um, Let me go ahead and tell you what day of today it is. So it's like January 20. What is it? 8? January 28th, 2021. And I'm feeling great. I'm feeling all right. Obviously on that coffee high, so it's gonna be quite differently. So far it's raining outside, so there's like this weird soothing type of vibe. I'm not trying to be too cozy and warm. You know what I'm saying? I could hear the rain right now. I have some visuals on my television. I got this Galaxy Stars projector projected into my wall, so I could like zoom out. Zoom. I'm probably gonna end up putting music halfway throughout the recording. But I really wanted to talk about that banner for Los Angeles Dodgers that I made. Um, I don't know where to start. I don't know how to start. So I'll just start talking about it and see how I start. Maybe halfway talking about it, I'll find a way to restart. So I don't know how to approach it right now. I don't know how to approach it as an artist or just describing it. But here I go. This Los Angeles Dodgers. I'm not sure if you guys saw my post on Instagram. Obviously, if you saw my post, you'll see how it's made. It's a basic Dodger handwriting logo onto a black fabric. I painted it white, outlined it white, added a logo, my logo, the Major League Baseball logo towards the right lower corner. Added some eyelets or grommets, however they call it. They always call it differently. Also, small detail here. It's something really basic and simple. Could be done within the same day of making it. But I took like 2 to 3 days to make it. Like perhaps 2 hours in between each session. So I will like average it no less than, obviously less than 10 hours making this banner. Easy, simple, and it looks original. It looks like it's better than being printed onto the fabric. I've been studying some banners that businesses have, and it's like there's nothing like a hand painted banner. It's always gonna be different. It looks different. It feels different, and it feels like you're somewhat a little bit more alive with this flag or banner. I I study banners that are outside in the street, like McDonald's has their like 2-for-1 McGriddles and stuff like that. Their um, local burger joints, family packs, banners, and I'm looking at them. It's like, yeah, they look cool. They look cool. That style banners like Photoshop 14.99. This with that little pop type of I don't know, that pop type of like design that has to it, so it could like pop, right? The burgers that are photographed by a photographer, then Photoshop onto like a yellow based on the color of the restaurant. I study all this shit. These are the things that I look at and I say, oh, if I would advertise that type of, if I had the opportunity to Photoshop their new logo or banner, it'll be this way. Obviously, some people like a banner and they do it towards like traditionally, like, oh, they wanted to keep the same thing but just like different texture, different this and that, whatever, But I walk by McDonald's almost all the time, and I check out their free coffee days banners and all these little things that they have outside their McDonald's logo. And I study it. I look at it. They're always printed. They're not gonna have something that's gonna be hand painted, something custom. Not custom, but something hand painted, handmade by an artist or local artist. If they're doing it from that same city. My restaurant, not my restaurant. I don't want to call it mine because I don't own it. Right, the restaurant where I work at, they have this like pizza banner outside in the front. It's like a large pizza with a couple of toppings, Photoshop, photo taken, editing, and all these things. It's still there. Sometimes banners like those lose color because of the sunlight sucks them up. And I always walk around. Man, as an artist, as a digital artist, sometimes when you walk around in the street, you'll see advertising everywhere. You'll see the beer advertising at liquor stores on the outside. You'll see logos, you see fonts, man. You see colors, you see posters, you see textures, you see types of font styles, gradient, colors, like I said, layers, the fabric type of banners, plastic, material. Every day, man, every day you walk out those doors, it's always going to be like that. I don't blame myself if I say I love doing logos, I love studying logos, because that's the world we're kind of like growing up to be in, or was already here before we're even born, right? If the time when I was in Mexico for about 6 months, logos there are different. The way that's advertised there is way more different than it is right here in LA. And let me refresh you. Let me refresh that for people who've been there, right? Let me refresh it so much that I'm gonna talk about it in Spanish or English. So there's these like cumbia bands that you always hear, like Sonido Dinamita and all these like Los Angeles Negros. I'm not even sure if Chayanne appears, but on the side of the roads, you're gonna see like this large graffiti type of style on the side of the cars, not on the cars, but on the side of the roads where it's like a wall there, sort of, right? You'll see all these bands, all these artists, groups, musician names, and all this in a certain type of color and font, right? It's they start advertising it that way. They paint on the walls, and as you drive through the street or through this busy city, you'll find like blank walls, and they'll end up being like used for advertisement for like futuristic type of shows, like toquines or sonidos by sonideros. You'll see like changa type of graffiti on the side of the wall. You'll see like sonidero dinamita, and all these bands on the side of the road. That's that kind of advertising is fucking sick. It's one of those unique ways of advertising futuristic shows than it is here in LA. Specifically, if we want to narrow down the area where I live in, PR, but going towards like LA, those same bands that you see in Mexico advertise on the walls with like this certain type of color, font, the vividness of it's not really that vivid here in LA. It's a little bit more different. The only times you see those same band members being advertised here in LA are through these like large highlighted green posters that are what's it called, stapled onto like these the wooden posts that are near the freeways, or like the post lights, or the electrical poles. That's exactly where they're at. And it's like it's a big difference. It's always going to be a big difference from seeing the same bands. The way they advertise it here in LA is way more different than it is in Mexico. In Mexico, something like very daily that they end up playing almost every 2 weeks at different types of places, man. It's always something. It's so weird, man, that it's like when I was in Mexico, it was so kind of like out of the blues to see that band that, like, obviously I know friends that listen to it, cousins, friends, uncles, parents obviously listen to that type of music, and it shoots me out of the blues where I'm like, damn, they're playing here right next to this pueblo. It excited me, man, and that same day we went to go check them out. But just to make sure they were like there playing live, we went to like the top part of the rooftop, all the way to the top, checked that out from the top, and that was the view. That was the view of seeing Sonora, Dinamita, or all these like cumbia or quebraditas type of people, man. It was fucking dope, man. It was like the best shit ever. And then once we confirmed, like, oh, they're playing that track, we went to go ahead, went downstairs, and said, well, we want to go. We want to go and head out. But like I'm saying, that advertisement's always for someone who is like always in LA, obviously, who grew up in LA or California. Those advertisements are always going to be different. And like I said, being a digital artist, you'll see all these types of ways. That, yeah, you could be driving and noticing all these things, right? But there's something about walking the streets almost like every day towards work that's like you pay attention to all this stuff. You start noticing, oh well, the truck company got their signs on. This dentistry place got their logo of a tooth or something like that. This car wash is just plain car wash. What else is there? The Yum Yum Donuts got that smiley face with that tongue on its cheek or something. The Alberto's logo looks like they're smoking a joint instead of holding tacos. For me, that my first reaction, I thought that I'm not sure that mustache character was smoking a joint. That was my first reaction when I saw that logo from Alberto's. And ever since then, it never switched. And it's hard for me to, it's like when you take additional 5 minutes to study the image, the logo, or the design, where it's like, oh, never mind, he's holding two tacos on his like plate with his right hand, lifting it by his chin or something. And those are the things that I capture when I'm walking down the street. I look at the font, the color, if it's like, the shadowing, what kind of possibility of the logo was used as for digital type of, what how can that logo be breaking down into a digital art form? You know what I'm saying? How can like a sketch become like a digital sketch and then become this ultra type of logo onto this like restaurant? And the cool thing, man, having like a digital computer where you could edit like digital arts and drawings and stuff like that, you could always fuck around with their logo. And obviously, I think that's like plagiarism, some word like that, some fancy word, And we'll go on to that topic and where was it that we heard about it. And the cool thing about being a digital artist, you could always take a logo from a company and just fuck around with it. Like, instead of it holding tacos, it could be holding like quesadillas. It could be holding like a beer bottle. You can mess around with the logo and still yet give people the need or the urge of going to that place, because it's like a weird feeling that people might be advertising that as this borracho eating tacos or something. If I end up making the Mexican or the Latin American or the Latin character of a drunkie eating tacos, right? But it could become anything instead of a drunkie, right? It could be like Italian. It could be a different type of race, a different type of person. But that's a cool thing about digital art. You could always add additional things to the logos like that, and you could just like throw it out there, right? Um, there's other types of advertising that I've seen that I've been thinking about also. Where, for instance, like if people have their daily specials, I know they get creative. You know, they get really creative when it comes to like, oh, today's our 2x2 specials or whatever, and they draw on this like blackboard. You know, they get creative about it. You know, that is like something natural, right? That's something natural, but it's not done by an artist. You know, it's done by the people who work there, right? Now, man, when an artist does that, you know, it's like, oh, let's say for example, you're thinking of coming up with like this coffee brand, right? Or something very more far less of that. You're trying to create like coffee cup holders. You're trying to come up with like, I don't know, like coffee cardboards to hold on to your hot ass coffee, right? You're creating this logo. I'm losing myself. What the fuck was I talking about? But fuck. What the fuck was I talking about? What the fuck was that? Jesus, dude? What the fuck? I was on to something, right? I was on to something. You know, it's like I was talking about the coffee cardboard cups, and then I lost my fucking point that I was trying to do. That's fucking weird. Cheers if you're drinking coffee, but digital sketching, I guess. And let me go retrace it. So you could go back into like digital sketching stuff, man. You could like obviously, oh, like yeah, advertising like 2x2 things, right? Let's say at my place, for example, pizza. Tuesday special will be like an extra large two topping. How would you advertise that? Will you draw it? Will you take a picture of an actual pizza, Photoshop it onto a banner? Like, will you make it look creative? Will you make it look like just plain simple advertising of the food? If it was up to me, man, it's like I would do my thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like I would rock that place. If I could, I would, man. If it was up to me, I would. Fuck yeah. If I was like called the manager of that place, I'll definitely shoot that fucking banner there like that. I'll create like this like ultra cheesy type of logo for that pizzeria. I'll add like a popping number of 15.99 with like additional toppings as characters hopping into a pizza with like a cheesy ass pizza dripping down this banner, like looking tasty as fuck. No, something tasty and ultra creative like that. Obviously, some people are there for the experience. Some people are there for the eye-catching logos, for the flavor of the pizza, and I'm noticing that people walk in and wanting double cuts on their pizza. You know, it's like I feel like they're tasting more of their fucking pizza that they purchase. You know, and that's the weird thing, man, because it's like they know who cut that shit in twice, in doubles and triples. You know, I do that all the time, and it's not because I wanted to leave two giant like fucking slices, but it's like I think when you double cut a pizza, you could tell when someone's sort of kind of hungry, you know, because they'll eat one fast, you know, and you'll see how savage your friend is, and then they'll go for a second slice, and you're like, oh shit, this must be pretty good. They must be really hungry. But man, it's like, you know, if you're wondering if I cut your pizzas in doubles, that's probably me. Um, Pizza is expensive, like areas like that, man. They go up to like 25 for like delivery large pizza, one topping. It's ridiculous, $25. You know, I'm like, dang, I can't even afford that. You know, I called my local pizzeria saying I want a delivery, and they charged me 25, and I'm like, oh shit, I can't afford that. That's like a quarter of 100. That's a lot of money, man. That's a lot. So it's like kind of like catching myself onto I should really appreciate that I get my discounts from that place. You know. There is like obviously Little Caesars and Piara Pizza, which is like $5 a pizza. Little Caesars is pretty good. I haven't had it in a long time. but I've been wanting to try other pizzas too, so I could like see the competition that's around there. Um, I'm not gonna be like a giant. Oh, I'm a fan of this type of pizza, but I like to try some new shit, right? What's the goodest things I've tried at the place where I'm at? Probably the chicken tender pizza that I made. I didn't make it, but I just added strips of chicken tenders onto my pizza with barbecue sauce. Ah, dude, that was like the best thing. I almost fell asleep. I had like a daydream coma sort of kind of thing, you know? I was sitting in my chair and I told myself, oh man, I can't work. I can't like lift a finger, you know? I can't really work like this. I can't eat this and go back to work, you know? I feel sleepy. I feel tired. But, it's easy for me to just grab anything and just put it in my mouth right now, or sort of like in food wise, you know. I'm there just it's up to me to like make anything that I want to do, either a pizza, pasta, sandwich. I don't know the full recipe of their sauces, you know, but I'm like somewhat privileged to get whatever I want, you know. Um, I'm lucky enough to work at a pizzeria. You know, I feel like a Ninja Turtle sometimes. Um, there's a lot of people who think I'm the boss. I'm the boss of that place. I'm not. Even though I do look like I dress up nicely for my job, even though I try my best to do sound the nicest there, I try to welcome everybody who walks in. I always try to like, I try my best that I know of, man. That's not something easy, you know. It ain't easy. It's a. I'm not sure if it's a skill or a talent that perhaps I might have. I just, man, people might be having a bad experience on purchasing pizza that when they walk in, they leave out all surprised, you know. There is good, bad customers. There's always gonna be that, you know. There's always gonna be weird ones too. There's always gonna be different kinds of people going for the same reason, man, for food. But I don't always want to talk about pizza on my podcast, but I've been trying my best to keep myself busy there and just trying to do so much things that I can. And that's one of the things that I've been trying to do at these times where yeah, it's cool being an artist, right? You know what to occupy your time in when it comes to just being inside your room or your area. So that's where I met someone who works for this what is it, like a fumigator, like a terminator type of like exterminator. I don't know, like the person that like swipes out all those fucking bugs, or the extermination. I don't know I don't know what's his name, but he's a cool guy. I met him. He was there in the morning. We started talking. He's a straight out Chicano, and I started conversating with him. It's like, yo, dude, it's like, sometimes people see he's like, yo, you're too cool to be working at a pizzeria, and I'm like, oh, all right, cool, right. Just like small talk here and there, because I'm always like prepping shit in the morning, getting the morning started with like System of a Down type of music in the background. And then I started mentioning, man, it's like I had to find a way to advertise myself, as in making art. I want to make a banner. I want to. I don't just want to be working at a pizzeria, man. It's like I don't want to be like. I want people to give me that type of visual where, oh, you're a pizzeria, and when you work in there, you become an artist. I mean, it helped me sort of become an artist, but I was naturally there as an artist, and I'm trying to make it as an artist, and I'm there as an artist working at a pizzeria. So I described this dude where it's like what I do on my spare time when he started asking, what do you do besides being here making pizzas? And I'm like, oh, well, I paint banners, and I started pointing out on that mushroom, what is it, like bread and mushroom digital drawing that I made for the restaurant that is still there hanged up. I'm probably gonna end up drawing some like digital tips for my can for when I'm there. They know who made it. You know what I'm saying? It's like if they like it, I would just bring up the topic of like, yeah, I made that. And it's like if they're interested in art like that, that's where I could like obviously open up where I'm like, yo, yeah, I do banners, I do flags, I do logos. If you like, boom, here's my number or here's my Instagram. And it's a cool way of advertising. I find it's the best way where you're at a pizza stop, and you're there not just for the pizza. You're there to look at visual shit, right? I have all these ideas, man. If you own like a place like that, man. If you own like a pizzeria where it's like And it's like if you're bored of that area, the restaurant you're at, and you're like allowed to put up creative stuff around there, like during Valentine's Day, man, is take those holidays as serious, or not even a holiday, right? Take those days a little bit more serious and be like, yeah, man, you could be posting up some art on the side of your art, and they're gonna be like, yeah, you want it, I'll sell it, sort of, right? If they give you that, if they're that flexible with you. Gotta finish up my coffee before it goes cold. And yeah, man, I'm there and I'm like just chilling, and I told the dude, yo, show me your number. I'll just pin a flag, man. I'll send you a flag just like that. No, man, it's like it's some people would say like for sure, people who are painting, people who are doing art, don't give your art for free, right? Don't do it for free. And I'm like, well, it's gonna be harder to sell it. It's like it could be a commission, but it's hard to get known if you're always depending on selling shit. If you're like, oh man, I'm painting you a flag, and then you don't want it, it's like, and then now you keep it, right? And well, man, it's like the only way to be known sometimes if you just like say, yo, bro, it's like I'm an artist, I'm trying to get known. Let me do this one for a cool friendship or something like that, right? And I'm there and I'm like, I'm thinking shit like that. You know what, man? It's like, what do you like? What do you like? I'm asking this like exterminator dude. What do you like, man? Are you passionate about shit? Are you like do you like sports? You like, I'm trying to narrow down the shit that he likes. I start naming like MLS, NFL, and all these other types of. You like the Lakers? You like this? You like that? And it starts like, well, not really, right? And I'm like, well, all right, cool. You had to be passionate about something, right? And he starts like out of nowhere. He's like, "Oh, the Dodgers," and I'm like, "Oh, you like the Dodgers? All right, cool. If you're, what I do, I do flags, I do banners, I paint. I did that. I point out to the bread and mushroom digital art, and I started like sort of like kind of like advertise myself for a bit, And he starts mentioning, yeah, man, it's like I've been in this business for a while, and he's like, well, back in the day, I had an opportunity to like team up with someone, and then they ended up making more money than I did. He got off and blah blah blah. He starts going on his story, and I'm like, that's pretty cool, man. It's now that you're here, it's like you still haven't given up yet, right? And then he starts mentioning that like he used to be the boss of Little Caesars, and then he was able to buy a franchise and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh shoot, that's cool, man. It's like, but what happened? And it's like, oh, this and this and that. And I'm like, oh man, too bad, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, there's always going to be some another time, right? Another thing you could always be making. And I'm describing my logo. Well, obviously, if I paint your flag, your banner, your LA Dodgers or your Dodgers, I'm going to end up painting my logo onto that flag. And then I'm like, he starts showing my logo on my arm. And he's like, he just like stares at it for a while. And he looks at me. He's like, you know what, man? You're forgetting that. He tells me, you know what, man? You're forgetting that TM right next to your teeth right there on the bottom. And I'm like, oh shit, you want me to get a trademark, right? It's like, and it's hard to find people who feel that about when you're passionate about your art and you're like painting things with your logo onto it, man. I think it's like, I've been thinking about it for sure for a while, but there's not really no one there to push you, or there's probably someone who knows how to get your logo trademarked. I don't know how to make it like from the bottom up. I don't. So therefore, I am going to obviously put some obstacles on that research. It is kind of, some people know the way already, I'm searching and there's like all these also false websites where it's like, oh, send your money here, and it's like fill an application here. And it's kind of skeptical when you're doing the research by yourself. But when someone knows, they'll go directly towards a target, right? If it's like a walking target, you just walk there, boom, that's it. Fill it up, pay this, whatever, send a picture of your ID. I don't know what else. And I don't know what it needs. I don't know where the needs for it. But it surprised me that some strangers just come up with that idea where it's like, he's not the first one who said, oh, yo, get your art trademark or get your logo copyrighted, I remember that I took the Montebello bus over here in PR on my way to school. I think it was to Montebello Saturday type of events where it was like they're going to this Buddhism temple. And I was drawing, and then this like bus driver starts talking to me about like, yo, your next movie should be like, this was like fucking 10 years ago. It's like, yo, dude, you should get like your art copyrighted, and then so from there on, no one could ever fucking like fuck around with your art. Everything that you paint is already original. You're original artist already. And he starts like talking to me about like getting your art copyrighted, trademarked. And I'm like, damn, bro. It's like by this time it should have already been trademarked, right? It should already been copyrighted. But I don't know what's holding me back. Sometimes I think that has to be my goal for this year. If I don't do that, I'm obviously slacking on my dream of making it like a trademark thingy, right? It doesn't have to be like internationally published. It doesn't have to be like those logos of like Hundreds or Supreme. I don't have to have like a local store like that. I just like wanted to get trademarked or just have like the legal documents of it and say bang. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's what I do and that's what I worked for, sort of. Besides the necessities of life, right? And yeah, man, that's how different it is, man. But who knows? But I'm ready to get it trademarked. I already have money. There is some videos on YouTube that help you get back on tracks. But I guess the overall help comes from the strangers that you meet when you're behind the cashier register. Also, the last dude that I attended, he was like a local from there, and he said, man, just so we started talking and all this and that. He looked at the breaded mushrooms, like, oh, dude, that little character looks cool, this and that, this and that. And I'm told him, oh, have you tried breaded mushrooms? He's like, nah, but he starts noticing the art, and I'm like, yeah, I made that. We started talking this and that. It's like, oh, this shit looks pretty cool, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yeah, well, thanks, man, you know what I'm saying? Pero he starts mentioning, oh man, it's like he starts asking about the business wise there, and I'm like, yeah, it's pretty slow, but hopefully, soon, eventually, it'll pop up, And he starts talking about, it will eventually, because of all these like little leagues of like baseball players, all these like baseball teams come in here, fill up the whole place. And I'm like, that is true, right? All these little leagues, PR is really known for like their little leagues, for their football teams. That place is always packed with like all these big people there, you know what I'm saying? All these like large groups of people. It's like soccer groups from Sunday go there to munch, from little leagues from Sunday go there to munch, and all these groups of people are just like on hold right now, you know what I'm saying? It's like, now, if I advertise myself in a way where it's like, oh, that's cool, and you talk to some people that are behind the leagues and stuff like that, and you show them a flag that I make, I'll be like, dang, bro, these guys could be waving. If they want to go hard, if they want to feel like if they're like somewhat sponsored, you know what I'm saying? I think it's gonna boost up that fucking like energy of like their team are way more worth it. You know what I'm saying? If they see like an Adidas banner on the side of the baseball field, they're gonna feel like they're fucking sponsored already. Sometimes it's not them, but sometimes the visual of the kid is like, oh shit, the kid does not know anything about the real lives, paying bills and stuff like that. But it's like the belief that they got sometimes, where it's like, yo, shit, I feel like I'm on the spot. I feel like there's an Adidas sponsor around here, and they're looking for kids to sponsor behind the little leagues or like Major League Baseball, and they start like going play out on their dreams and stuff. And if I could like create like a bundle of like flags to put on the side of the soccer field. You know what I'm saying? I could make like flags of waving of your team's logo there, bro. I could make like so many good things, Some people don't see that. Some people are very passionate for their position in the soccer field, for forward, middle, goalie, whatever. It comes down to the, it's hard to, you don't want to live a life where it's like not creative. You want to live it as creative as possible, sort of, right? If you find someone who's creative, and it's like I'm 28, and if I learned what I have right now, like during high school, I'd probably be making a lot of shit, more flags. You know what I'm saying? It's like all these events, man. I could have like But it's never too late neither, right? It's like, hell nah, bro. It's like there's always like protests out there. There's always events. There's always like bands looking for like a logo or a name, and they're wanting, they need someone who's gonna be like, oh, bro, I think your vision, I think the energy of you envisioning shit like that, it could completely come true for someone else. You know, it could be again super overwhelming, and there's gonna be a times, man, where that's what I think. That's what people sometimes need. For bands, garage bands, man. It's like they don't need. Obviously, they're working on the name, right? And they want to feel like there's something sort of, even though they all know and agree upon that it's not gonna get anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Well, let's get nowhere and then yet feel like we're somewhere, sort of, right? And man, it's like if you ever have like a dream or like this visionary vision that sometimes it's hard to believe in yourself like that, because you're never surrounded by that same type of thinkers around there, right? You're not gonna be surrounded by someone who's like, oh yeah, go for that. It's like it's a good thing, but it's like overall it doesn't not feel like original, right? It's like they don't really believe in themselves. They sort of do, but not all the time, right? Not consistently all the time, right? Like I'm always around these flags in my room or studio. Whatever. Right now, it feels like a studio, like a podcast. But I'm seeing all these flags, and it kind of like I'm getting too comfortable with that. That's something where I feel like I'm not enjoying it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not enjoying it, but I am enjoying taking the time and noticing that where I step back from that ego, from that energy that sort of like might bring me down within the next hour. I'm like, yo, I'm just talking, right? I gotta shut up and then like take a step back, like let's say thinking that my negative soul is still in that chair. Get up, step back, and just visualize that and say, oh, nah, fuck that. It's just like pure passion that I don't know where I'm going right now. Oh, dude, it's like there's so much things I could like bring up. I think two days ago, when was it? Wednesday, man. I don't want to be home. It's one of those things where like it's my day off, man. I don't want my day off to be staying home like it is when I come home from work and I stay home and I'm doing all this organizing shit. I told myself, you know what, man, I just don't want to be here. Where's the bus at? I look at my local app and start noticing that the fucking bus is like 20 minutes away from from my stop. I said, fuck it, let's get up, let's put some clothing. If I could, if I time my shower, fuck yeah, let's get ready, let's bounce, man. And I started thinking, well, if the Ross is open, I'll go ahead and buy the hat that I saw the last month that I was there. I'll buy this, I'll buy that, I'll buy this, right? Sometimes it's just a feeling of just getting outside your house, you know what I'm saying? And, man, I left my house. I was at the bus stop. It was there like 10 minutes after. Took it, put some earphones, and just started like, not really in that zone where like your life is a movie inside a bus. Then I got off to my destination. Man, you see people going to places. So I'm like obviously walking it towards like the Downey, where is it at? I think the city of Downey Ross. And I'm there like, okay, and I'm just like there walking, and there's like people shopping and stuff, right? I'm there asking where the male section side is. The shirts, they're in, the selection of male shirts is just like minuscule. It's pretty small. I started looking for shirts. I saw a good shirt that I saw from Bochum. It was like a high in Hawaii. It had like this like weed palm trees on the left side of the chest. And had a large logo on the side. I picked it up for sure, but I wasn't gonna spend like $10 for it, And there's stuff like that, man, where it's like it's eye catching, where you see a logo like that and it catches on to you, and it's like those logos that are, I feel like those are like the most valuable shirts that might be super dope to have, right? I already had it in my hands, man, but I had this mentality of like, oh, if I go there, I'm gonna buy all the World Industries T-shirts that might be on stock there, man, because those are really valuable, the World Industry ones. So I'm there, man. I'm just walking back and forth, checking on the sides of the clothing section, the t-shirts, pants. When I'm there for pants, obviously for pants, good pants, Levi's, slim, whatever whatever pants I could find, and then I think for myself again. It's like, is this shirt really worth the 7, 8, 10 bucks that I'm about to spend? And I told myself, nah, fuck that. It's like I look at my app. Sometimes I do that research. Well, where can I buy it more cheaply, right? I put it back, and I'm like, oh shit, check the bus route again, and I see it's like, oh shit, it's like 20 minutes from like arriving to my way home, and that's where I'm like, all right, shit, I'm on the go, sort of, right? And there's a time where I'm like, oh shit, maybe I could have just like spent a coffee, right? And it's a good thing that they're not. Well, it's like a good thing and a bad thing taking the bus, because like you could get it infected or get a virus there, right? But it's free. It's like 175, man. 175 adds up really quickly. Two buses, 175 that day. The return and one way route and the return is like fucking $3 already, right? If I can only say $3 because that is a lot for someone who's barely making it, sorta, right? I hop on, I get off Ross, man. I start walking on the parking lot, and I'm there. I'm checking out Marshalls, and I'm like, Marshall it is a good brand, but I know for a fact I'm gonna end up spending like $12 in there. So I just like, fuck that. I just rather go home. I'd rather go drink a coffee, and maybe that's the thing that I want, that I needed. Get up early and just like leave the house, man. So I told myself, fuck it, let's go to Starbucks, find this like what's it called, the Starbucks, and I told myself, yo, I'm just gonna get like a fucking hot chocolate with some whipped cream, whatever it is that they have on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm there just waiting in line, and this gentleman opens up the door, and he's waiting in line, and he has this like fruity side on him. I'm not making fun of him. I'm not saying that I get like that sometimes, not all the time, but it's like just super nice type of tone stuff, man. And I'm like, they're looking back here, and it's like, oh, sorry. I'm like, no, take your time. I'm not here to bust sometimes, and I'm there, and it feels like, man, you're just surrounded by energy. Where I'm there, like, fuck, man. It feels like if you like would have showed up at a party, it feels like you're the one making the party rock, sort of, right? People act different around you, man. They act a certain way, and you'll see why. And it's not like that all the time. It's not always like that. When you feel like you're looking ugly, man, it's like the mentality always counts, man. I just like walked off from Ross, and I'm there like, oh, I'm just gonna, what I'm here for. If I'm, and then this like young black lady attended me, and she's like, yo, what do you want? And I'm like, I have a hot coffee and this and that, taking my order, and I'm like, all right, cool, and then they start chit chatting with me, and I'm like, I really don't need the chit chat. I didn't say that, but I'm in my head, like, I don't need the chit chat. I'm just here for a hot coffee. And they start mentioning, oh, where are you from? Oh, are you on the way to work? On your day off? And I'm like, oh, yeah, it's my day off. Blah, 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 bro. Well, I say that to almost everybody, something natural, right? And I guess they noticed my pin, my Black Lives Matter pin on my hat from wearing it backwards. And I leave there. Before I left, the white woman said bye. But I'm like, all right, bye. But for sure, I want to say bye to the black lady. Of course, man. It's something mandatory. She attended you across from the other customer. Sort of yelled at. Not yell, but raised her tone for a bit. And I'm like, cool. Let's match that vibe. And, she was looking on her cell phone. And I was about to leave. And I turned around and say bye. She said bye. And I'm like, that's dope. And that's cool that sometimes naturally you'll want to say bye to someone different than the cashier register person. Someone who attended you not eyeballing, but had they had their eyes on you for a bit, where it's like, oh, I don't want him to wait. Maybe he has somewhere to go, right? Considering that you have perhaps somewhere to go and be at. So I had my hot coffee, and I'm like, I don't care as long as I have a hot coffee made, and it's all cool, man. And I walked out with the hot coffee, and then on my way out to the bus stop, and I noticed like within less than 5 minutes, the bus was already arriving. I'm at the bus area, and some, like 2 to 4 people get off, and I'm just waiting, hop in, get the back side of the section, and I'm there putting some music, some Portishead, anything that makes me sort of daze out, sort of wanting to, or prepare my day ahead of me and say, what else do I got to do today, right? What else besides this adventure I got to, do? It's pretty early. It didn't take an hour long, right? It was like a half an hour trip. I'm home and I'm there and I'm like, damn, this day went by super fast, sort of, right? And I'm home and I open up the door and I just say, I see all this mess again. I'm like, and I'm like sitting down, lunging in my room, and I'm like, all right, man, what else can I be doing? The prior day, yesterday, the day before this day, that day that I had that adventure, I saw some Andrew Reynolds interview, and he's like describing his days and how he starts off his days, and I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool, man. It's like that's wicked. I'm like I'm sort of the same thing, and the things that he says sometimes changes you. Where it's like I definitely don't always want to be waking up to a cell phone, right? You want to take your time off to stretch and do all those good things that he mentions. And I'm like, you know what, man? I think that's fucking dope. It's like I feel like the painting that I did of Reynolds, of the banner that I have, is like I think it adds more value to it. It adds more of that. Oh shit, it was totally worth painting it. It wasn't because of the hype of the people who might have seen or who probably have an idea who he is. But it's like it's something else where it's like besides the front side flips that he's well known for. Um, Everybody has a different side of Reynolds, of knowing him, right? I like the way he thinks sometimes, man. The way he's like, he's like so. I don't know, man. There's something about Reynolds that just like it captivates me sometimes. I'm not like a big Reynolds fan, right? But I was always like a Ronnie Mullen type of person when I was like the type of like skater I used in pro skater. I was like Ronnie Mullen was my dude based off of Casper's, all this shit, right? Let me go ahead and drink my coffee. Ronnie Mullen, Steve Caballero was one of those characters that I always picked for sure. I don't know why, but when it came to Reynolds, I know my older sibling was part of Reynolds and shit. He was always into Reynolds, man, and that's where it's like I think Reynolds it fits perfectly. Like he's like the Bruce Lee of for skating, sort of. You know what I'm saying? He's like the role model for a lot of people, not because of his frontside flips, but um there's so many good skate videos of he posting up on Instagram. Obviously, the birdhouse, the end skating video of his section is one of my favorites all the time, man. That's the first time I listened to Portishead for sure, man. It was one of those things that is like, dang, one of those like bangers, bro. He has this like intro of like some orangutans drinking beer, and it like kind of feels like it's some sort of Donkey Kong related type of shit. It kind of like speaks out for me, sort of. It's like it's reaching out for people who are into that shit. Who are into not into orangutan drinking beer, but obviously who like that type of stuff, right? Skating, the music, the visuals, and obviously I don't know, man. There's something good about that fucking Andrew Reynolds section of the end. That whole birdhouse and end movie is always dope to see, man. It's always something different that you see, man. And I told myself, man, when I got home, it was about like 11. I made a phone call to the Borders section of Montebello Mall, and I told myself, I talked to the dude that I'm not sure if he runs it there, but we ended up chit chatting for a bit. It's like, yo, this and that. It's like, you guys' time closed was procedures for COVID restrictions and shit. And he started describing, man, this dude's dope, dude. It's like one of the dopest dude I've ever met. And I'm like, fuck it, let's just go. Let's just go. And I checked my app again. It's like, oh shit, the bus is not here. Like in less than, it was gonna get here in 10 minutes. So I like got up, got ready, got my my goodies, and I just jammed. I just went to that bus stop, and I got off on, I'm not sure what street it is on San Gabriel. I don't know. And I'm there in the middle of nowhere in the strawberry field, looking at the Rose Hills Hollywood sign. And I'm like, damn, bro, this is a fucking adventure, I'm like looking at the San Gabriel fucking hills and the mountains over there, and they're covered in snow, and I'm walking by the Rio Hondo Bosque, and I'm like, yo, this is somewhere to be, sort of, when you're not wanting to do anything and you don't want to be home, right? So I'm like walking, and I see like a landscape of like dead grass, bamboo sticks, and shit like that. Obviously, people litter the spots, and people live there and whatever. And I'm like, that's fucking dope, dude. This is what I needed. and I, obviously, that little snake path going, oh, not snake path, but that secret passage going up the Montebello Hill, Montebello Mall, shopping mall, all these trees around, dude. That's a place to always remember. I don't know. It's one of those places that we always drive through to get to our destination. Where it's like, damn, these trees are pretty iconic. If I really wanted to point out, it kind of like brought some memories of like Jurassic Park for some reason, man. All these large trees, it looked pretty grassy, pretty green, pretty forestly, and it's like if that's like a piece of the puzzle from like the LA Zoo type of shit. If you were like driving through the zoo, it looked like just like that, right? So I'm like walking up the hill, and I posted a Instagram post there, and I'm like, fuck, this is like a hike, blah blah blah. I get at the shop. The shop looks fucking horny as fuck. Not the shop, but the whole shopping mall looks horny as fuck, dude. I'm like, fuck that shit. In my mind, I'm like, fuck that. Where's the bathroom first? Because I had to take a leak. That place is nothing but horn dogs, horn chicks, left and right, dude. That's one of the worst places you ever want to go during this pandemic type of fucking shit, dude. Big time. That's my word. You take my word, dude. It's like if you thought you were a horny person, a horny female, horny dude, horny trans, horny, all these type of horny shit. If you go to like the Montebello Mall right now, you'll see all these fucking lusty people looking for the same shit, man. And like I said, man, when you're there to already know what you're gonna get, what you're gonna buy. For me, it was like I'm there to buy my skateboard, set it up, all this shit, and I'm out. But if you're there because they drove you there, you drive there because you want to get later or you want to pick up a number. You're there to show off your shopping shit, and I'm like, after my board, they're gonna set it up, and what am I gonna do? I'm fucking hungry. Let's go get something to eat. And we started talking towards like the cashier dude. I'm not gonna say his name because he knows he's fucking rad. Start mentioning the restaurants, and I go over there, check it out. But one thing for sure that does not pass by are those like trash cans from or the trash monuments from Montebello shopping mall, dude. Um, I'm not sure. There was like this uh, like this group of artists who painted on these like Montebello shopping mall trash, or I don't know, or what's it called? What's a good word to describe them as? I don't know, but there's like painted like cool shit there, man. And I'm there, dude. I'm there like I walk into some stores and all this, and it's like, is everybody here horny as fuck? And I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I'm there to look at the action figure. Like I'm at what is it, Extreme Toys, and I'm there like looking for my Gears of War action figures. I always check them out and see what's the pricing on them. But it's like I gotta get the fuck out of there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not there for what I was there for, right? I'm there for the skateboard, obviously, and get the fuck out of there, man. So it's like I walk over to the restaurant section, the food palace area, or I forgot what's called. I'm looking at the pizzeria, and I'm like, oh come on, bro! I already had so much pizza already. I'm looking at the taco section. It's like, where am I gonna eat if I end up ordering some tacos? It's like, definitely I'm not gonna be eating like around this shopping mall, right? I don't want to get too cozy around here. And then I'm like, fuck it, let's just starve it until I get home, fire up some frijoles. And I told myself, well, I just want to back out from this lobby. I just want to just like jam from this lobby, grab my board, and just hit the deck, right? Just get the fuck out of there, man. Walk it home. Go on to this adventure and wait at the fucking bus stop on Rosemead, out of the middle of nowhere in front of the strawberry fields, man. And bro, it's like, man, shopping mall is way different, dude. It's like, I don't know, man. It's like, I don't find myself working at a shopping mall. I don't see myself working at a shopping mall. It's like there's always gonna be there's this constant social media vibe there, right? I think so. I don't know, man. There's always gonna be this ah, dude, it's like I don't want that. You know, it's like you realize what you want, and what you don't want. You know what I'm saying? It's like, do you want people to be walking around horny? Like, it's not something that is like, it's noticeable, dude. They make it so obvious, like this, like I don't know, man. It's like it's like I would rather see those in. You know what I'm saying? It's like you rather see shit like that, not at the shopping mall. You know, but I'm not super surprised, but it just surprises me that I haven't been there. And took the time to look around and to see that. And it's like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like there has to be someone to notice this and talk about it. And obviously, I'm there not for to look around and shit like that. But and then yeah, man, I go back to the Borders shop and I'm there and I'm talking to the dudes there. They're all chill and we exchange information, bro. Man, I think that guy has a bright future ahead of him. Sometimes people are just like zombied out, sort of. They just need like a refreshment of good energy, sort of. So I busted there and I'm there. I got there. I got there sort of tired walking up the hill. I grabbed my board, dude. I grabbed this. Let me go ahead. Oh man, this is like my fourth skateboard of my life, I guess. Maybe like my fifth one if I could count precisely. I had like less than 10 skateboards throughout my whole life. This one looks sick, dude. This is like pure blank wood. That's the only reason why I like it so much. These Spitfires are fucking dope, dude. It's like I'm bragging a bit, dude, but it's like it's like money that's like you know what I'm saying, man? It's like a skateboard, but it ain't a car. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't know, man. Skating is like it's a cool deck, dude. It's one of those things where it's like for sure, dude. It's like you don't want to quit skating. You don't ever want to quit being in motion. You don't ever want to be like you're always gotta have to be walking it. I was thinking of getting a bike too, but I think a skateboard would be way better for me. Although a bike is good, right? Um, I got what the fuck did I get? I got some independent trunk companies trucks and some red bearings, some Spitfire wheels, dude. L shaped fucking I don't know, man. It's like this is like the perfect board, bro. This one is the perfect board for me. And I had this vision, bro. I've been walking around shopping malls back in the day, sort of looking for this deck, for this skateboard deck, man. And I told him, man, I've been looking for this just wood deck for a long time, man. It's like I even told him I've been skating your local Borders board all the time, and there is one where I still have it there. It's the wood one with like Borders Los Angeles like imprint or screen print, whatever. And when I saw this one, I was like, nah, man, I'm gonna stick with that wood one. It's one of those where it's like you definitely know what you want. You point it out and you try the 8.20. Skateboarding always has their mathematical 8.25, 8.5. And now that I have it, it feels different, man. It feels I'm not gonna paint on it. That's for sure. I'm not gonna draw on it. I want it. It's what I wanted. Plain and simple. It's a plain message of like it's if you're like a hippie and say don't cut down the trees, maybe cut one tree for one skateboard and you'll see why. And I don't know, man, but it's like, can you hear that? That shit's wood, dude. It's like it's like it matches the wood floor on the bottom. It's plain and simple. It looks like a tank deck, man. I don't know, man. Having a new skateboard, it's a different feeling, bro. It's like it feels great, man. It feels like I'm not used to it right now, but I'm not gonna be like doing 360 flips and shit like that, right? I'm not gonna be hopping over like 16 steps, I'm not gonna be jumping into banks and stuff like that. I wish I could, but like you grow old and you don't want to see yourself in like those. It's not that I don't want to see myself in nah, man. They confuse, but they see. It's like the people who walk into the cashier register at the pizzeria. They see like a 18-year-old at the cashier register when you're actually 28, and they all started like wanting to beef and shit. That's a whole type of people that you don't want to be. People are there because they're sometimes that's the only place they have to go, or they tell themselves that the only place they got for themselves, right? But man, it's like if there's like a skate spot around here, where or you could like basically make a skate spot where only you could be skating, and then like humble skaters like you will be skating that thing right there, and not pulling some like negative vibe. When they're all like artists trying to skate or shit like that, it'll be a different environment. I still have to get used to that skateboard. It's too loose for me. I don't skate too loose trucks, but it's a good hobby, man. It's one of those things where, man, it's like, fuck, bro. It's like, man, what else do I gotta? I don't have a girlfriend, so it's like, fuck it, let's throw it onto a skateboard and just vibe on to what I grew up on, sorta. Older siblings, older kids, they skated. I sort of saw that, had my board, and bought mine, and then it's like, not many people know how to skate. Not many people are comfortable using a skateboard, and I'm not that good at skating. I don't do so much tricks to skateboarding, but it's like it's a basic ollies, basic shove it, and just knowing where you're good at, which is art. You know what I'm saying? It's like, fuck it, just stick to the basic. Don't get hurt, right? You can't afford getting hurt. If you're like passionate about making in professional skateboarding, go ahead. But on this side, it's gonna be more or less chill of using a skateboard. And if you're like one day challenging yourself to make a 3 flip, it's way more different, sort of. So I'm like on my way home, dude, with this brand new deck. I'm not gonna ride until like I have my shoes for sure. I bought a tech deck, just a present for a little dude out there, and I'm happy. I'm happy so far. Finished that Dodger banner for that one dude. Went to the skate shop. Went to Ross. I didn't buy shit there. I came back home, and obviously talked to some strangers, making sure they're all right. Your vibe's all right. Um, there's like people are sometimes confused and not energized. And I think people is just like, they need off your energy. It's like you need off them, sort of, right? You wanting to like get the fuck out of your own sad face. You want outside your sad face, man. It's hard to find that spark out there sometimes. It's hard to be. When you're happy, you'll notice in the tone that you're happy. When you know that it's like you're able to make someone happy, dude. It's like you're able to make 20 people happy based off that one person. If you're talking to someone who's like they feel like they're like bummed out but they're still yet working, it's like, man, help them notice about their passion working at a spot for so many years. Some people already have that urge of like, damn, I've been here for like 5 years and blah, 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 and they don't like it. And it's like, well, dude, there's always something else, man. There's always going to be something else where you're going to be like, perhaps liking or enjoying, loving, but working at a skate shop and you're sad. It's like, fuck no, bro. It's like, you got to be happy as fuck at a skate shop. You're able to talk about any fucking deck on the fucking, if I see it, if you see it through my eyes and because I walk in at a skate shop and I'm like, bro, this is a place to be sometimes, As an artist too, bro, you see this like DGKs, you see the limited edition Han Solo deck, bro. You'll see the Star Wars fucking Princess Leia deck, man. And it's like, you see like the World Industry. I don't even think they had World Industries. You see these Bruce Lee type of imprints. You start narrowing down to like the Fist of Fury movies. You start looking at the ultra lusty ass skate decks, and I'm like, yeah, I got a half boner, but look at that one over there. That one's way more better. You start seeing the America shoes. You're comparing your America shoes that you got on onto the ones on the wall. The skate video that's up there. You start bringing up the topic of like Dustin Dolan and shit like that, skating videos, and the ones that you have never seen. And I'm like, oh, I guess I'll for sure I'll watch Baker 3 today. I'll just like catch up with some skating videos and shit. And man, it's like if I was working at that skate shop, I'll fucking document all the decks that we get in. I was like, oh shit, we got this DGK. It was made like from this type of artist and this time, this and that. It's like fucking document shit like that, bro. It's like it's like I would like not really document my art because I don't see it that way because I'm always around it, and that's probably how they feel about it. But let's say it's like, oh shit, they got. Let's say for example, they get like a World Industries, right? It's like, oh shit, today at the shop, we were at the shop at the this and that. Let's call it Omers, right? Let's call it Omers. Oh, today at this Omer shop, we got this World Limited Edition World Industries, man. Beautiful, old school. Started like in 19 something. You know what I'm saying? It's like made by this artist, and then it started off from a sketch. And then who's this guy? Oh, well, this guy, bro. It's like it's like a whole. It's like I was taking a shit or I was taking a shower. I forgot which one it was, but I was like, man, if I was there different at the skate shop. I was there, and it was like more than a skate shop. It was like this gallery of art. It was like an art gallery, on decks. You're watching all these colors on the walls, all these like organized decks and shit. You're looking at trucks. You're looking at grip tapes being sprayed onto. You're looking at T-shirts where you're looking at people who walk in, pointing out on the graphics and don't buy one, douchebags. And you walk in and you buy a whole set, and I'm like, you buy a set, and I'm like, fuck, bro. It's like, the hardware, like the screws and shit come in a little capsule. Joke about it. Does it come with the free nug and shit? It's like you're both giggling, and it's like, and it's like you're trying to, man, you're trying to spark up that same joint from like 2 years ago that you said you weren't gonna smoke, sorta, And I'm there, dude, and it's like, damn, bro, it's like this is a place to be sometimes. Where if you're an artist, you're gonna obviously juice it up. You're trying to make it feel like you're like a pro skater. They're buying a new deck, sorta, It's like how Reynolds said. It's like some people make shoes look good, dude. It's like, well, some people make skating look fun. Some people will make their fucking home products look like they're the best home products ever. Like if I came up with like a fucking face product of like face lotion with my face on it, I'll fucking sell that bitch real quickly, don't you think? No fucking acne, no granos and shit. Some Photoshop pictures, and it's like, oh shit, that's a good idea. I'll probably fucking spark up on that shit, right? But it's like, man, it's like if you ever like go to like that one shop again, Borders, and you buy something from them, and it's like they were saying all this like commotion of how they're like douchebags from the mall not being flexible. It's like they're fucking douchebags. They're always gonna be like that. They're always gonna give skaters a hard time, dude. I don't think they're there for all these other shops too. I think that, I think like you don't have to agree on that shit, but oh man, it's like honestly, it's nice to look at people. Yeah, it's nice to go out there and explore. It's nice to know that females are wearing a little bit less almost every day at the shopping mall. It's nice to know that the Disney store is still there. It's nice to know that the inside of the shopping mall is open. Last time I was there, I went through Macy's and they told me, hey, I actually asked, hey, aren't you guys, what time you guys open? And the dude started talking to me. Oh, we haven't even opened since like the pandemic started. And I was like 4 months within the pandemic. And I'm like, oh shit, I didn't fucking know that. So I'm going home with nothing, Same route, same fucking drove to the Jungle, Jurassic Park path down that Rosemead area and take the bus home. But it's always an adventure, It's like you got the strawberry field, you got the L factory on the fucking Rose Hill area with that smoky area place. I seen that shit and I feel like it's like a workshop. I don't know what the fuck is there, and I don't want to find out to give it a new name for it, right? And I'm like, well, now that I went back, it was like a refreshment of saying, yeah, it's open. If you guys are interested in going there, supporting borders, maybe with the shirt, saying hello to the squad there. They're pretty cool. They're pretty chill. They might be all bummed out and been working full hours, and I'm there just like chilling, relaxing for a bit. And man, there's always good things to know. It's always nice to see that the people who still work, the people who still work there are nice, and they're still alive. They're still doing fine. It looks like they're doing fine in life. Um, and yeah, man. Hopefully the army dude's still there. I'm not sure if he's all right, but it's just like the people who you still remember that work there, right? Um, the Tutti Frutti's gone. That shit went out of business. It's just closed down. I don't even think that shit was gonna last a long time. Um, and yeah, dude, it's like the shopping malls. It's like one of those uh fucking monuments of Montebello, sort of, right? Everybody goes to that Montebello mall. Um, and yeah, dude, that was my day. The homie packed up some stickers, and I still have some stickers. I'm probably gonna end up giving them away for free. I don't need a lot of stickers. I have stickers of my own, and it's like I just have so much shit that I'm trying to get rid of, because then I'm gonna end up piling on shit. And I don't have like I have to make this room look like a shop. Like a shop where it's like, oh, this section's like the shop wardrobe and shit. And I'm here, dude. I'm here just chilling, man. And it's like one day it will become that, and I'm definitely gonna dislike it, because I'm gonna be like so deceptionized, or decepcionado with how it's gonna turn out to be slowly, right? Pero not giving up for sure, and that's why when I finish that LA Dodger banner, it's like, you know what, man, that little small practice from that free banner that I'm doing it for that exterminator dude that works at the Falcones, when he was there, when I'm there chilling, listening to System of a Down, fucking wish I could start blazing a fucking joint. Man, it's like, man, it's like I'm thankful that I have a job. I'm not there like a robot. I'm not there like, oh, this and this and that, blah blah blah, this and that, blah blah blah, right? I'm enjoying it. You're knowing people who are there and from PR locally, man. You're knowing your area. I don't know, man. Maybe I'll eventually work for the city of PR. I don't know what job hold on for me for the future. Maybe I should start volunteering strong at the volunteer shit of like PR. Maybe they're looking for volunteers. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you want to work for the city, you can, right? You just don't gotta be doing drugs. Like I said, I drug tested me for like THC, PCP, all that bullshit. Clean like a whistle. Probably high on caffeine right now, but man, the best way to go is being sober, because it's always gonna be nice for your body. Obviously you build like a strong immune system, dude. It's like you want to be drinking your not smoothies, but like your licuados, or not even licuados. Your juices, like your vegetable juices, with like the shit that I do sometimes here and there, not all the times. I don't always want to be with that vitamin, and later on, I overuse my fucking vitamin fuel. But if you're looking to change your life, drink some water, man. It's like I'm finding myself right now drinking 2 Cokes of Coca-Cola fucking cans, and that's like, oh shit, I'm gonna regret this later. I know this could like obviously spiral down into a nasty ass food habit, right? It's gonna become like a burger, fries, and then tomorrow, oh that shit was good, burger and fries, and then it spirals down into this nasty food habit, dude, where I'm like, oh shit. And then I'm gonna end up catching myself where it's like, oh shit, I've been eating this shit too constantly. There's not enough fruits. There's not enough this. And when your fridge is all packed up, you don't know what to fucking eat. When you have so much art materials like paint, you don't know what the fuck you're gonna paint. When you have like 20 cars, you don't know which car you want to fucking drive. And when you have 20 fucking girlfriends, you don't know which one you want to talk to, right? If you're like the other type of sex, if you have like 20 boyfriends, you don't know which one to talk to one first, If you have like 20 fucking hobbies, you don't know which one to fucking see where you're at. But it's always nice to be like, ah, shit, wait, it's like, one thing at a time. All right, okay, let's go ahead. Let's that's why I like doing flags, man. I use like a mixture of electronics, a mixture of the shit that I learned, of sketching it down, photoshopping images together, visualizing the flag before I transfer that image onto a fabric, outline it, and then go ahead painting on it. And then I use this other addition of it. If I wanted to add more additional detail to it, which is like adding the eyelids and the grommets, or obviously the logo and the what is it, the Major League Baseball logo to it, make it look better. And that's where it's like, oh, it's good that way. It's easy that way. It's where I know it's easy. It's fun. It might be time consuming. There might be a time where I'm like, oh shit, I don't want to spend like 20 hours to it. You know what I'm saying? But a small project like that really tells me, it's better than spending 2 hours a day for it, maybe an hour and a half, less than an hour perhaps. I move fast and know how much time it takes, and then say, fuck it, that's how long it takes to progress on making something small, a small project. I'm not saying a big ass project. I also I got some chopsticks and I made a mini flag for a birthday present. And it's like, well, maybe people will like those flags in like their office tables. And I'm like, for sure. And I'll give you an idea like that, where it's like, how they wave those like American flags for like 4th of July? Same ones for like Black Lives Matter, but I made them handmade from myself, from my own hands and my time. It's a bit different when you're starting to print them. But I'm there, dude, just like drinking water. I'm here trying to drink water. I noticing that my days on Wednesdays and Thursdays, it's like those days where I drink more soda than any other day. It's hard to I do have small water bottles, but like I said, those small water bottles ain't shit. I like to drink a gallon and then take pisses here and there. But man, me va bien. I'm going well. I'm doing great. It's like I said, man. It's nice to have a partner. It's nice to have friends. And I can't wait for this Friday for sure. That's tomorrow, man. I gotta go get myself a late night coffee and perhaps a donut. I don't even wanting to eat a donut anymore. But I gotta go stop at my local donut shop and buy one. But sadly, the donut shop on Slauson and Passons, they fucking went out of business, man. They booked it, you know. That fucking business right there in front of the 7-Eleven, in front of the sandwiching right in between the 7-Eleven and the super. That donut shop went out of business. It sucks that they booked it, right? I don't know what else to do. I already have everything cleaned up. I do have to wash, man. You gotta be a clean artist here, there, everywhere. Um, an advice for you guys if you're listening, man. If your car's looking like a shithole storm, clean that thing, bro. Clean that thing, carnala. You don't want to see that same mess on. You don't want to relate through a messy ass mess. It's like, oh, we're always messy. It's like, nah, fuck that. That's an option. It's like, I have a small room because I want to have a small room. It's a mess in here, but I don't want to relate like with other people. It's a fucking messy mess all the time. Oh yeah, bro, nah, fuck that. It's like you want to relate to someone who's like clean and be like, oh, I'm fucking drug free too. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't want to meet someone who's like, who can relate with like having a mess in a car. A car is always gonna be like a second home, sorta. It's like a place of comfort. I'm not talking shit, not whatsoever, but it just shows that you're a responsible parent. I feel like it is. It might be hard to do it. I have no idea because I have no child. But I'm telling you this because of experiences of cars that I've been in, not in a bad way, but let's say in the field trip, because it's a field trip, or visiting someone's. They're giving you a ride or whatever. When it's family related and it's like that car looks messy, but then it's like you're not trying to point it out neither, but it's like a well cleaned car is always gonna be well cleaned. It's always gonna look like you're organized. It looks like you're going somewhere. It looks like you're focused. There's a lot of people who don't catch on to that. There might be a lot of parents who have. I don't want to get into that topic because I'm not a parent, but it's always nice to say, those are the things to do. I feel like that's part of the somewhat responsibility of having kids. It's like cleaning, always being cleaning. It's like teaching yourself how to clean, whatever. I don't care. But I don't know why I'm talking about it if I did care. Pero is this coffee out yet? I gotta chug this shit. Soon I'll know it when I have my children, right? When I'm ready, when I'm like economically ready and shit, when I'm like set up and set, when my company launches is already, and I have two, and I have shirts here and there, not just in California but outside the state. And I don't know, if I find someone who lives in Italy and sells them over there, I'll be making it for sure, man. It's like I don't want to. Sometimes it sounds like I'll be like overconfident. Nah, man, it's like when you're confident out there in the streets walking by yourself, and you're not scared of what you're not scared into bumping into something, right? You're not scared of like bumping into a dead possum in the street, like an actual dead possum. And then you laugh at your mistakes. It's like, oh shit, you touch your chest like you're about to get a heart attack. Like, whew, whatever, right? Man, it's like not many people could walk the streets of their own city. Well, if I want to put it in a large spectrum, if you're like in a nice neighborhood, it's nothing. I don't know, man. It's too nice of a nice neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? It's like you need a street, a city where it's like bad and good, sort of. The balance in that city is always gonna be needed. But like I said, it's like I feel like I could be running for mayor of PR. Shit, man, underground mayor. No, no, pero who knows, ¿verdad? Man, it's like how if you're thinking that way, you'll become a dragon, like they say in fucking Pineapple Express, man. You want to be a dragon big time. You don't ever want to be a pigeon. You never want to be a pigeon. I tell you, I'll let you know for sure, man. Man, capitalism sucks. It sucks that you have to make income or get money by working a job, right? And if you're working at a place where you like, where it's a pizzeria and they hook you up for free pizza, and it's like, man, it's like nice to have money in your pocket to buy things that you wanted in life. It's nice to know that, let's say for example, it could have gone worse, man. You might not be making a lot of money at a pizza shop, but it can't go that bad. It can't. I'm lucky. It's like a family owned business over here, and I'm there helping them out. And I'm there, and I'm enjoying it. That it's like local. It's walking distance from where I live. And I love it that I have to get up and walk it there and warm up that way and walk with a coffee. If I end up stopping by Yum Yum Donuts, and I'm there, and it's like it feels like it's fun. It's thrilling, man. It's like, what else, dude? Put fucking Michael Jackson's "Beat It" soundtrack to that fucking pizza shop, and you're gonna get me fucking moving. I'm living the 90s again. I'm like, I'm being a teenager. I'm missing out on my teenage years and living them in my 28s and shit. But it's not always gonna be like that, man. It's like I know how old I am. Only I know how old I am. Everybody thinks I'm 20 and shit like that. And like I said, man, I gotta start acting my age sometimes. I'm not saying I me desmadro here and there, but it's like it's always nice to act your age. You're not 17. I might look like I'm 17, 18 and shit, but it's like your focus as your responsibility for the age that you are is like, man, what's up, dude? It's like, what is it? But it's like, act your age, man. It's like you're an uncle, brother. It's like you have that title of an uncle already. It's like you're a tío, dude. It's like act like a tío, man. And one of the things that helps me remember of that person who I'm becoming an uncle is like my cousins, man. My cousins are the ones that are like from both sides of the family. It's like from my mom's side and dad's side, but especially from my dad's side, where it's like my own cousins treating me like if I was like a nephew, and I'm like, I'm looking up to them like if they were like my uncles, and I'm like, it's like sad. It's like that fucking homeschooling type of shit that you're never ever gonna get. It's like my cousins taught me to be an uncle today, man. It's like they taught me to, you know, to be an uncle with my nephews and nieces. I feel like I owe them to their kids, and I'm like, if I could see them again, if I end up finding the most natural way to give them that same teachings again, I would big time. I would. It's not gonna hold me back, and I'm not gonna put a but after this. I am gonna naturally be saying, "Fuck yeah, let's go buy whatever they need." Let's go get like a $50 gift or something. Maybe like an Amazon gift would be cool. And you know what, man? It's like that's what it is, dude. It's like my cousins taught me to be they since they man. It's like that's the thing when they're older, you'll see them as uncles instead of like cousins, and then you know for myself, I can only brag about it for my life. I felt like that helped me. It's like that feeling of they taking me to Burger King, buying me toys is like I want to do the same shit. Not specifically food like that, right? But the act of being an uncle would obviously was there and say I got it from somewhere where it's like, oh shit, it's not just like you be wanting to become an uncle or that, or you're forced to be an uncle. And that's like, nah, man, that experience of someone buying me a toy like that will be, it was like a dope experience, man. I have that idea how I might feel for someone who you get toys for money, send money for whatever, man, whatever they need, dude. Yeah, and it's like those things, man, where it's like it helps you realize, it helps you realize a lot of things, man. But don't be having babies and I'll be like, oh my over, come treat my kid, it's like, man, it's like it's not gonna be the same, bro. This pandemic is killing a lot of shit. But man, I'm happy I met my new nephew. He's pretty cool. Pretty cool, dude. Gotta give him the space. Cute. All three of them are cute. They're all cute. What else? Man, that's how it is, bro. That's how it is, carnala. Soon, I will have my kid. But I feel like it's gonna be like one of those Star Wars type of fucking scenery, where I have my baby and I die on the process. Just joking around, but miracle babies are miracle babies nowadays, man. I could come up with a dope ass illustration right now, dude, where it's like dope, dope. I think I'll just end it here. If you enjoy this, I don't know, I don't want to go all commercializing shit, but thank you for listening, man. Thank you for another day. If you're having a hard time trying to vibe onto your vibe, you could do it again tomorrow morning and do it differently. I don't know, man. Do whatever helps to make you happy, but don't get too lost in it, right? Consider the other shit that you could be doing too. You want to be a multi-skillful type of person. Yeah, man. What else? You want to be you. You only want to be you, man. If you ever made a mistake in your past, man, it's like don't let that hunt you down. Natural to make mistakes, right? It's always natural to make them, and that's all I say. Bye bye.